I did not fully grasp affirmations until more recently. It was like, oh no, that's not just like it's not like sprinkles on your ice cream. That's like the ice cream. Like that is just what you're supposed to believe wholeheartedly. It's not just like good foo-foo, good feels.
Sure.
It has to be like the foundation.
Welcome to the Natural Parents Podcast, where we will cover all things faith, health, family, and wealth through a biblical perspective of putting things in life that matter most back into order. We're reminded in Matthew 6:33, where Jesus said, "But seek first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you." Join us each week as we focus on what truly matters most in this life and passing those values on to the next generation. This is the Natural Parents Podcast with Ryan and Abby Hukin. Hey guys, welcome. This is our temporary home studio because we were not able to make it to our typical Chesterfield office recording studio because the lovely snow that we got here in the St. Louis area, everybody forgot how to drive, and we get to come to you live from our dining room table. So welcome. Super glad that you're here.
Yeah, we want to have a home studio. Anywho, won't be here because this does not mix well with children.
Yeah, they'd be all over these microphones.
Yeah, they would.
I kind of like the new white mics.
Yeah, white was my pick.
Yeah, and that's why I brought it to the home studio. But hey, here we are.
Yes.
Temporary setup. I think it's working pretty good. You guys have to let us know what you think. Doesn't Abby's tree look great in the background?
I'm not an interior designer.
I think it looks good. She's been dogging on her own tree skills.
Not really. It just makes me itch.
I think it looks great. It really does. It really looks good.
It does. Merry Christmas.
It does. So,
okay, today,
what do you want to talk about today?
I am so excited. I love this topic all of the time, but it is just the abundant mindset.
It's very important.
Yes, and it even goes so much further than just abundant mindset. That just doesn't even encompass all that it can, but I'm really excited just to talk about that and dive into that today.
I heard somebody say that they believed in the law recently. I thought that was interesting. The use of the word law, the law of infinite abundance. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So it's where you believe that there is more than enough for all of us to have more than enough.
Okay, I have. I don't know where I've heard that before, but yes.
I just yelled it at you the other day. No,
okay.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay, I don't remember.
No, I really do believe that. And I think, well, again, not to get too deep into these weeds, but the very first ever sin that's listed in the Bible is a sin of lack and a sin of scarcity. And we were told as humankind that we could have and eat from any tree in the garden, lest the one tree in the midst of the garden. And what do? Don't touch the big red button, right? And like we as humankind, we just have to touch the big red button. It's born within us. But I think we have a tendency to focus on what we don't have. And we oftentimes miss all that we do have. And at the root of an abundance mindset is like gratitude for everything that God has blessed us with.
Yeah. And it's also just like limited belief.
Yeah.
Whether that's like in yourself, in others, or your circumstances.
Right.
There's a book called Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt.
Yes.
And he talks a lot about limiting beliefs and different frameworks around why we believe that, what that really looks like what is an example whenever you speak of a limiting belief.
Right.
Sometimes you have them and you don't even realize that you have them.
Yeah. And I think that is the biggest practice that we could invite you guys into with this topic is take a second and just reflect. Do I have any limiting beliefs? That book, we'll link it in the descriptions, but it talks a lot about it. Actually goes through a practice of just self-identifying. Are there any things? There is nothing in the Hukin household that my kids could say that upsets me more. Like, y'all, don't come for me, but if they cussed, I might laugh that off and ask them not to do that again. But like if they say the word can't, right? That's a struggle for me because I again, yes, are there things that maybe in theory wouldn't be most likely possible? You bet. But impossible is just that, a fact of your mind. And so you might be, as Abby always tells the kids, it sounds like you're having a hard time. Did you mean, I'm sorry, that was a weird way to say, was that French?
Yeah.
Are you having a hard time? Like that's a thing as opposed to the word can't, but things like can't, never, always, those are textbook terms that you might find that you are surrounding a limiting belief around. I could never, I can never, I'm not capable. Like I can't do this or that. Those are pretty good starter words for anything you might be doing in your life.
Yeah, I'm not good enough. People don't support me. This is just how things are. Oh, this always happens to me. Bad luck just, follows me. All of those types of things, like woe is me, pity party, are a limiting belief. And whenever you speak those, it really just attracts more to you.
Well, and it sounds too, I just heard it for the first time, you running through those, is that there's got to be some correlation between that and almost like victimhood of it's external circumstances that are affecting my current reality.
Right. Limiting beliefs they feel like reality,
right.
But really it's just a story that we keep telling ourselves.
And who's in control of telling what story to ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have that power.
Yeah.
Why would we give the power to something outside of us?
Right.
Like the weather.
Right. And, I was just talking with you, and I just posted this online, that I was talking with our kids, and like sometimes even if somebody else does something that may upset our kids, I'm not neglecting their emotions. We are allowed to feel certain ways. However, we cannot give it power throughout our day. Right. We cannot let that person be in charge of how we feel for the rest of the day. We can't give them that power. We own that. And so there's been times that the kids have been upset about certain things that maybe were done or said, or how somebody treated them. And I'm like, okay, let's work through that. However, you gain your power back. You don't give them that. You don't give them that power and that authority over your day and your life. You can reframe it and choose to see something good or use something good out of it, even if it's, oh, I'll never do that to anybody else. That's great.
Right. Yeah. Okay. How do you like that? I mean, that was just the dinner conversation last night that Avery and I had.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. It was something. She asked her brother for something.
She did. Yeah. Something to her
brother.
I was
like, hold on, are you doing that because he did that to you? And she said, yeah. I was like, well, is that how we react to people? Do we do to them, do we treat them a certain way because of how they treated us, or do we treat people the way we want to be treated regardless of the circumstances? And she was funny because she was just cute and chewing. She was like, basically like number two,
yep. She's I hear you.
Yeah. And so I think it's little things like that. And, Ab and I get on here and we talk all the time about seemingly sometimes minute, tiny little conversations, but I think those tend to add up over the course of our life. We talk about with our kiddos starting the day with gratitude and fixing their mind on what they're thankful for, because like how easy is it for us to just continually do that, where we fixate and we think about all the things we don't have. I struggle with that personally, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be better about it. And so I think talking about it on here, you guys hopefully get a benefit out of, wanting to be better about that too. I get a benefit of bringing something that's a struggle for me out into the light. That's a greatest thing. So thanks for coming to my confession hour, y'all. But also it's something that we can all talk about how we can better our children for this, because the goal of this podcast is to make an impact, and a positive impact, not only for Christ, but for the next generation, so that, Christ can shine through them.
Right. And I do think that is why it is so important to focus on gratitude first thing in the morning. And something that we are working with our kids right now is because we do what's called a morning 7. And it's a simple rundown. In the morning, the kids know that they are responsible for making their bed, brushing their teeth, brushing their hair, saying their gratitude, drinking their water, jumping on the trampoline, getting dressed. Like all of those things are just naturally what you do in the morning that sets yourself up for a great day. I tell them it's not that it benefits me at all if you do any of those things. Right. It is literally only to benefit you and your day. And I will ask them, what are you grateful for? Because it'd be easy. Mom doesn't see that I've done, gratitude today, but starting your day like that really does just set the tone. And I've talked about this before. I don't let them just rattle off the 3 things that they see. Mom, dad, siblings. Nope. Doesn't count. Try again.
pick 3 more. Those are good, but let's pick 3 more.
Yep. Exactly. And, because I think that whenever your posture, your heart posture, your mind is focused in gratitude, you can't have both things at the same time, the scarcity and the abundant gratitude filled heart.
Right.
And because limited beliefs are just something that's happening inside of our heads, but we live in a culture that conditions us towards staying small, staying quiet, staying predictable, and the world rewards that comfort more than they do courage. And think about your family. Is there anybody in your family that you could say, hey, I'm going to go do, or in your friend circle, anything, I'm going to go do, this really big, hairy, audacious goal of mine? And is there anybody that's like, oh my gosh, yeah, you should do that? Or are they running through the risks with you?
Yeah.
Because they want you to stay safe. And that's not necessarily bad. That's just feeding into that risky mentality.
Okay, so there's an idea here that you said limiting beliefs are kind of like this internal conversation, but I think they're actually shaped by our external environment. And I would say almost to a point that if, not going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole here, but I think we are conditioned societally to limit our own potential. Mm-hmm. Like, again, we can go down that rabbit hole. If y'all want to go down that rabbit hole, call me. We'll talk about it. But I think that as a greater outlook on all things life, well, for one, the devil, the government, whoever was in control, they want a controllable people. And so if you will accept a degree of complacency over the visions and the dreams and the goals that you set maybe when you were 7 years old, but now you're not doing that, it's not me condemning you for that or whatever. It's just bringing it into light of saying, hey, that might be something that, quote unquote, they or him, the enemy, would really surround you in that, external circumstance so that you continue to really believe that inside of your heart, inside of your mind. And so it brings me to this point, and I'm not a theologian, but I'm just thinking about this right now. I want to bring it out, is that there's scripture, and Jesus talks about when he renames Peter. You remember it? Like, mm-hmm. He's like, he's Simon, now I'm going to call you Peter. And Peter is actually Petros. We say Peter. Petros is just meant rock. And then Jesus said, on that rock, I am going to build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And I've always thought that was a weird thing, and I don't fully understand it and comprehend it, except for gates are a defensive mechanism. And that's like gates aren't going to, the gates of hell aren't going to prevail against it. Like, they're going to be defensive, not offensive. You know what I'm mm-hmm. saying? Like, they keep stuff out, or mm-hmm. Maybe they lock something in, but guarding. Why would the gates of hell prevail? Why would they ever prevail against the church of Christ? Well, I think there's something to be said there about how much of that battle happens in our minds. Mm-hmm. And so when we have a limiting belief, we are bound by the gates of hell, if you will, and we have to actually open them up mm-hmm. and get past that. Do we need to pause?
What is that?
Our dogs fighting.
Like Bear and Finn?
Hold on, I'm coming right back.
Are you sure? It sounded like Winnie. You stopped it? Okay. As parents, we love finding natural ways for our family to feel their best, and that is why we chose Llama. They make genuine Baltic amber jewelry for both kids and adults, known for its soothing and grounding properties. For little ones, it's a beautiful natural option to help with teething and inflammation, and for adults, it can help ease tension and bring a sense of calm throughout the day. Each piece is handcrafted from authentic Baltic amber. It's never plastic, never imitation, just simple, natural comfort that fits your lifestyle. Check out the link in our description to shop Llama, natural comfort for the whole family.
So one dog protects our female, and I don't think the other one was trying to fight him. He sounded like he was just trying to run from him. But how about like the enemy to try to interrupt that conversation? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I didn't even think of it. I'm like, it's so weird that they're fighting, because normally they don't fight without us out there, or me out there, really. They don't fight right. much when you're here at all.
Right. So I don't even know what I left off on.
Something about gates. Because I was like, is that gates. Like in my mind? Is it
in my mind?
I'm like, is it squeaking?
I just had to take a break, y'all, and go save my dogs. I think the enemy did not like what I had to say, because I think we were about to free up some stuff in your mind.
So just talk about you were talking about like the limiting beliefs are like the gates.
Yeah. So we have the gates that are genuinely a defense mechanism, and they're talking about prevailing against the church. Like, that doesn't make sense, except for the fact that there is some aspect of those gates being what binds us up inside of our own minds. And if the enemy is putting us into those circumstances that are external to us, but they're shaping the way we think about everything in our mind, I think that's when he starts to actually get a stronghold. I won't say a victory because he's already defeated. Like we fight from victory, those of us that are in Christ. And so what's cool is that if we just bring this into light, just that, we are seeing that there are external circumstances that are affecting us in our belief systems. But I'm telling you guys, if you just took 10 minutes, leading into the new year that's coming and said, what do I actually believe? What do I believe to be true about me? That's not, it's just based on my external circumstances. Like, I bet you could really unpack some stuff that might just might set you up for, the future that you actually want to have, the goals that you want to achieve.
And like you mentioned, we are like a broken record with this, but who you surround yourself with matters. And if you're around people who constantly rehearse their excuses, you'll start adopting the same language, right?
Totally.
Living the same way. And if you're around people who think growth is risky or, playing it safe is really smart, different things like that, that you are what you surround yourself with. And so that's just something, I'm not saying who you're around is wrong. I'm just saying you definitely have to take that into consideration when you are reviewing. If you're having limiting beliefs, see what is playing into that and what is setting you up for success, because your beliefs, like you can commit to pushing forward through that, right? You can rewrite the way that you think about things, and you can grow past that and rewrite it. It will take some work.
Sure.
It takes some, like, you hear of affirmations. I did affirmations when I had our kids.
Sure.
Like there's like maternity affirmations.
Sure.
And I didn't even grasp what they really were at the time. I was just like, okay, I can do hard things. Like all of those things. And like we had them, the girls colored them whenever we had Jennings. I did not fully grasp affirmations until more recently. It was like, oh no, that's not just like it's not like sprinkles on your ice cream. That's like the ice cream. Like that is just what you're supposed to believe wholeheartedly. It's not just like good foo-foo, good feels.
Sure.
It has to be like the foundation.
It is everything that we build our mindset around. And that's why we talk about all the time. I've mentioned it before. I want to come back to the thing you were saying about who you surround yourself with. But on that note, it's like who you are because of whose you are.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if we can build our foundation off of that, like I am loved, right? I was telling you the other day I was running and I was just needing it on repeat. But I was like, what was I? I'm happy, healthy, and loved. I'm happy and healthy and loved. I'm happy,
Is
healthy,
that when
and
you were
loved.
running in the dark?
Oh yeah, I was kind of that's when I say Jesus loves.
That's right. He runs in the dark. He runs so early that it's
Y'all face
dark
your fears.
out, and
I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's in the dark that I can't see.
Yeah, and so he sings Jesus.
Hey, it's whatever gets you through. But you were mentioning surrounding yourself with people. I'm sure we've talked about it before, but show me your friends, I'll show you your future. The saying is people say you're a collection of the 5 people you spend your most time with. My mom always used to say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Like, careful who you hang out with, right? Everybody's mom does that. But it's real. Like the environment we put ourselves in is what is going to either elevate us or really the opposite of that, which would be, I guess, decline us or pull us back or hold us down or, that type of a thing. And so you could even take that so far as one mentor of ours that said, look at your income. Like if you have 5 people, if you have 5 friends that you spend most time with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your income probably lands right about the average of that. And some incomes can be great, but if you're trying to level up and do everything, it's like you don't just lose your friends because of different income amounts or anything like that. But you just look at, again, who am I spending the most of my time with? Are they in pursuit of the same level of things? It doesn't have to be like same industry or same stuff or anything like that, or houses.
Not
or
everybody
or
will check
material
all the
stuff.
boxes.
No, it's just an aspect of, do we align, at least in the desired pursuits of our hearts that God has laid on our hearts? Do we really want to go after this, or is that friendship, growing me or declining me?
Right. And I think because at the end of the day, we are responsible. We are responsible for the things that we believe, and it is only up to us. It is nobody else's fault.
Right.
It is nobody else's responsibility to tackle them and overcome them. Only you. And once you decide to do that, that's when change will actually start happening.
Right.
And you can see things unfold.
Serious question. Why is it easier to accept that, like a victim mindset, than to accept that it's you?
You can place blame on somebody else. But
Yeah.
you also stay comfortable. You're comfortable being a victim.
Sure.
Everybody feels bad for a victim. But the thing is that when you stop being a victim and you start taking control, what happens is the people who are still stuck in being a victim are like, well, look at you. Well, look at that,
Yeah.
Did you know that we spend about a third of our lives in bed? That's over 8 hours a day that our body should be resting, healing, and restoring. But did you ever stop to think about what we're breathing in during that time? Most mattresses today are made with synthetic foams, flame retardants, and chemicals that release toxins into the air, especially while we sleep. That's why we made the switch to My Green Mattress, made with only clean organic materials. There's no chemical smell, no off-gassing, just a pure supportive mattress that helps your body truly rest and recover the way it was designed to. As a family, that peace of mind is worth everything. If you want to create a healthier home from the inside out, go check out the link in our description. You'll see exactly why we love our green mattress and why we'll never go back.
Yeah. Because again, it's easier for me to pull you down than for me to elevate myself. That one makes sense to me. But what I don't understand is just in self accountability. Like I probably, as a default, again, there are definitely things that I don't want to face me being the problem in them. But I would say most of the time, probably to a fault, I will blame myself. Like, hey, I didn't coach them appropriately. I didn't lead them correctly. I didn't, that's on me. I'll always put that blame on myself in the sense of I don't want to deflect and be like, well, they just didn't do what they were told,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But it's like, why does it seem to be in society's standpoint that it's just like, yeah, I'll just look at my external circumstances. Like I'm telling you right now, if that's a belief of you that the outside is affecting you more than you're affecting you, that's why you're where you're at,
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of times with what you just said, of, always looking at yourself, that is always definitely what you should do. What could I have improved? What could I have done different? But in that, at the same time, you could ask yourself, am I being the leader? Am I showing up as the leader or the person or the father or the husband or, whatever role that you're in to the best of my ability? And most of the time, there's room for improvement. But I think that that's where that comes from too. If you're already leading that leadership style well, then you're less likely to be like, yeah, it really was my fault.
Right. Yeah. Well, and too, like we hear this said all the time. I like it. But let's just say you use that example. I want to be a better father. I want to be a more present husband. I want to level up. I want to get that promotion, like whatever it is. Ask yourself this, not what do my external circumstances have to be for that to happen, right? Because that's where we find all those limitations in our mind. Instead, take a moment, journal about it, write it down, and say, who do I have to be to accept that level of a promotion? Who do I have to be to start that company? Who do I have to be that kind of a present father, husband, employee, coworker, leader, business owner, whatever it might be? And I think that's where probably the root of solving for your limiting beliefs comes in, because you can actually get past it that way.
You really can. And it is. It's instead of waiting for it to happen for you to then become that person, you have to become that person before it happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, emotion is such a big thing in what we feel and then what we think. And that's the slippery slope as well, is because whenever we base things off of, well, like, how do we feel? Like,
Right.
What's our emotion towards them versus you just like, you choose that.
Sure.
And you're like, I'm ready to be that. And I'm, if it's your health, you don't say, oh, I'm so sick. Oh my gosh. Well, if I could just lose 30 pounds or whatever that may be, like your health journey is shaped by the beliefs that you carry about your body.
Right.
And if you believe that you're just an overweight person, or you're just an anxious person, or you're just somebody who's too busy to take care of yourself, like your actions will follow that narrative.
Sure.
But if you shift your believing to that, like, oh, God designed my body to heal and adapt and thrive, you begin to then take actions that align with that thought process. And then your belief is a catalyst to getting you.
And I think I love that term. I love that term, belief, because I think what we're on the slope of, the slippery slope, or the fine line of here is like, we talk about it all the time, like manifesting versus just being in alignment with who God says I am. Right. And so today, right now, in that moment, might not be the version of you that you want to be, But if you can fix your eyes on that version of you, the wildest thing is that if you can have that thought, which is just as easy to have that thought, which is a desired outcome for, let's just say 10 years down the road or 10 months down the road, 10 days down the road, I don't care. That's the desired outcome. Well, we spend all of this time, like exponentially more time, on thinking about and quote unquote, I want to say manifesting, or just like thumbing over in our mind time and time again about the undesired outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And then that keeps us stuck and stagnant where we don't want to be. And so if you can think, which thought is the fastest thing in the universe. They always talk about the speed of light, but if you can think it, like how fast is a thought?
So fast. We do this all the time. We're like, well, what are you thinking about? And it's like, well, I'll tell you, but I got to tell you how I got there. And it takes like 5 minutes, but it was like within 2 seconds.
It was a snap of a finger. Felt like I had all of those thoughts, right? And so that's what's wild, is that if you can think it, then the only thing that's actually between you and that version of you that you want to achieve, be it health or wealth or financially or your family or your faith or whatever it is actually just time. And time is a weird construct. It's actually a man-made construct. Like, right? God's not bound by time. So we made it up. So we're all worried about whether it happens in 2025 or 2026 or 2027 or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You're an eternal being with a physical finite body. So, okay, let's think about that. So if that's the case, then all you have to do is fix your mind on the desired outcome that you want and allow the time to pass while, as Abby said, actually putting your mind on those desired outcomes. And so then you start to shift your physiology into, hey, you know what? Like, thing drives me crazy. It's like, I don't have time, or I can't wake. I'm not a morning person. Like, that's a limiting belief. Do you want to be a morning person? If you don't want to be a morning person, you love working at night or whatever, that's fine. But like, don't say things like that.
Right.
Like, hey, no, you know what? I'm a morning person. Well, what do morning people do? They go to bed on time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They go to bed early. They set their alarm. I just, I can't get up in the morning. I snooze my, I was like, yes, you can. You definitely can't. If you say, I don't know who said this. It's a famous quote. I can't steal it. It's that famous. But it says, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Yes.
Whoa.
We say that to our kids.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And the can might be harder. Like, we might not be able to know the exact how to get there. However, it's possible. It's just a matter of time. And time is a man-made construct that doesn't actually matter. We are just going to be in, as Dave Meltzer always said, a consistent and persistent pursuit of all that I am meant to be. Right? So parents, you want to be a better parent? Sweet. What do better parents do? I don't know. I'll ask some sometime. We're not good parents.
Yeah. It looks different for every person. But even that, like, think about families. Think about families who are like, oh, our kids are just wild, which, yeah, sometimes kids are just wild, call it what it is. But, oh, well, our marriage will always be strained because X, Y, Z. Oh, well, our family struggles, blah, 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 blah. Like, all of those statements feel like observations, but are actually just those limiting beliefs wearing masks of reality.
Right.
And it's like, when a parent can rewrite that, how much more life could you speak into your family, into your kids, into whatever it is? It's like, oh, we are a family that does what we say we're going to do. We are a family that is disciplined. We are a family that does the hard things just because they're hard, and we are better for it. And
careful, you're getting me all excited. I like doing hard things.
You do. You like it so much more than anybody I've ever met. It's
a problem.
You kids are respectful. You are loving. You are caring. You are kind. All of that. And in return, this is not bragging. It's not all the time. But what are we told anytime somebody meets our kids?
Those are the best kids.
Your kids are so respectful. Oh my gosh, your kids, look how caring they are.
If that sounds like bragging, it is.
We speak it into them. So they have no other choice. Do you see what I mean?
But I really do. I mean, everyone brags on their own children, but I am so proud of our children for that thing.
Yes.
Like, and it's a gift, and I'm so glad that they are that. And as Abby said, they're not that all the time, but like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, we get to brag on our kids. And I'm telling you right now, somebody needs to hear this. You got a Father in heaven, and he wants to brag on you. Like, he's a good dad, and he loves his kids, and he'll brag on you all day long. He sees you for only the good that you ever are, as long as you know Jesus as your Lord and Savior. So know him, love him, and then carry out a life that points others to him. That's all we want. That's what we want for our children. And that might be in sports. That might be in, horse showing something. I don't know. It might be from a pulpit. That might be in their business. Like everything in our life, whatever the gifts we are given, whatever gifts our children have been given, it's not, a profession. It's not anything other than it's really an altar. And so it's like every single thing that our kids are good at is just a platform to proclaim the good news of Jesus.
Yes.
Right? I mean, yeah. So
there's something that I want you to share that we were talking about the other day.
Oh boy.
Your reference to David and Goliath. I want you to talk about that.
Oh, which one?
The one where
I know David, I know Goliath.
Okay, like the limiting belief
Okay.
would be that you couldn't defeat.
That he was too big versus too small?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everybody always looked at, I don't remember where I heard this from. It was like it's a country accent in my head. So it's something like that. But, all the other soldiers turned around, they looked at Goliath and said, oh boy, he's too big to kill. And David said, oh man, boy, all be, he's too big to miss. Praise God. Let's roll. Right. And it's like, it's just a perspective shift. Like there is no way, like whatever. I love this, and I do this with people I like coach and mentor in business and stuff, is that whatever your greatest obstacle is actually, or your biggest obstacle is actually your greatest opportunity. And the same is true in your parenting. The same is true as your relationships. The same is true in your job. Whatever you're facing as an obstacle is a massive opportunity for you, one, to grow, and two, to overcome, and three, probably help the person that's causing that obstacle to be. Because let's be honest, obstacles, people equal problems. Yes. So the obstacle is probably a person, right? So for sure. And there's so much good in that. That book you already referenced makes me think of that teacher. In that book, do you remember reading it? The teacher, she wanted to...
I can't think of her name, but yes, Haley.
Was it? Maybe. I don't know. You guys are going to have to read the book. It's a fantastic book because if you really want to level up, you want to have a better year, you want to have a better life, whatever it is, like it's a best year, which is again, a time-bound construct, which doesn't matter, but it's just like, hey, always be in self-development, always be in self-improvement. I can be a little better today than I was yesterday. Let's go after it. So,
and just truth be told, I used to hate that.
I love it.
And he was always like, yeah, you could just be better. Like, better you tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm fine today.
I got her on the Garmin trend. She's gonna love it.
I am.
But
tracking
with our fitness stuff, we don't love to wear wearables all the time. We keep all the Bluetooth stuff off on them as much as we can, because that's not awesome for your health. And Ab tends to be a bit sensitive to it. However, Garmin has an awesome mindset or a quote. I don't know what to call it. Slogan. That's the word it is. Slogan. And it says beat yesterday. And I love it. Because that is, our whole life is built around this concept of Excelsior, which is Latin for higher and higher. Like, not that today's not good enough. Today was a great day. But you know what? We can set some goals and make tomorrow even better.
From the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with someone you know and leave a review. By doing so, we're able to grow this community of amazing people just like you and raise a generation of children that know God and do His will on earth. We'll see you next time.
This is the Natural Parents Podcast with Ryan and Abby Hukin.